Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à le jeudi après-midi juste avant vendredi podcast et lundi matin et je just checking in. So, boo. What's up, motherfuckers? Bonjour. Je m'appelle Guillaume et je suis dans le Paris and I'm a little buzzed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a couple de 1664, s'il vous plaît. Oui, monsieur. What the fuck do you say afterwards when they come back? Le même chose. Monsieur, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. The only reason why I'm not completely shit-faced right now is because I have a kid. That's another good reason for becoming a parent. It's not because you want to raise a good person and experience a level of love, amor, that you've never felt before. It's really because you failed in your own attempts at sobriety and you're too much of a loner and you're too antisocial to ever go to AA. That's the time to have l'enfant, to have a kid, a bébé, right? Oui. Ah, ouais. That means yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, ouais. If you sit there and go, oui, you sound like some dumb tourist, right? You know what's funny over here is I've been just fucking torturing these people with my French, and I don't give a fuck. When they start speaking English back to me, I don't switch over. I'm going to fucking sit there and search for the word, and you're going to sit there and fucking take it. Like you have the biggest fucking moron ever sitting across from you on the $10,000 pyramid, and the clock's ticking, and you ain't winning. Merde, baby. I fucking love it over here. I love the people. I love the food. I could literally lose the next 20 years of my life staying over here pretending that I'm an intellectual. There's just something about getting shit-faced in a cafe. You just don't feel like, you know, we don't do it right in America. They make you go inside where it's all dark and you got to hunch down and fucking, it takes you like 20 minutes just for your eyes to adjust to see if there's anybody else in there. Right? The person you've been hitting on is a him or a her, a man or a sir. Here comes Pat. Out here, they let you be a drunk in public. You just sit there on the side of the street, right? And you fucking sit there with the sport coat on, a little pocket square, and you if you feel like you're reading. I have not improved myself at all as a human being over here, and I could not be having more fun. I have eaten a fucking baguette every goddamn day. I've gone to no museums. I went to the Notre Dame. I went over there. Finally, we went over there. I go, let's take a fucking picture. And what I love about my wife, mon propre femme, is that she doesn't give a shit about that stuff either. I told you that story when we went to Le Louvre, right? And we did what everybody who doesn't give a fuck about art does. We went in there and we were like, hey, fuck the other 900 million square feet of art. Where is the Mona Lisa, right? And they told us where it was. And we went in there and we were like, there it is. A little bit bigger than a stamp. You good? I'm good. Let's get the fuck out of here. And that was it. That's it. We left. À droite, à gauche. I don't know how we got out of there. But I don't remember the exact directions, okay? But we just fucking got out of there. And, you know, when we were coming into town, which I used to know that word, I wish I could have taken a video. If I was ever teaching a class on creativity, okay, first of all, who the fuck would ever have me teach anything? And secondly, where do I get off acting like I'm creative? I'm a curmudgeon, and I'm good at criticizing shit, all right? However, I'm going to criticize this. There was like fucking, I think I already talked about this. We were passing in front of Le Louvre, and there's that stupid fucking glass pyramid that they made that I think a lot of Parisians didn't like. You know, they don't like anything new. Anything new is fucking, you know, I don't know what they call it. Vulgar. That's one of the best insults ever, you know, to describe something you just did. Unless someone just said a bunch of F-bombs, then it's whatever. But if you like were to make fun of somebody's shirt, the design of it, and described it as vulgar, I don't know. It's about as deep as it gets for someone who doesn't curse, I think. Right? Someone who has a sport coat on stage, right? Standing up there. Like Johnny Carson's still hosting The Tonight Show. And they're working on their 5-minute set. I don't fucking know. Anyways, we were driving through. You cut through. And a droite is a bunch of fucking tourists all standing up, having somebody else take their picture as they pretend to be like holding the top of the pyramid. I swear to God, we drove by and there was like 9 people all doing it at the same time. You know? And if I was ever le professor, I would take a video of that and you go, you see this shit right here? If you want to be creative, don't do that. There's a difference between being inspired by seeing somebody doing something and then just going up and doing exactly what the fuck they're doing. You know, it's still going to be a great picture, but what's going to happen is that's going to be the fucking hacky thing that you do, right? Until somebody switches it up. And this is what kills me. There's going to be one person that switches up what you do with yourself in the foreground of that stupid fucking glass pyramid in front of the Louvre, right? And if it gets enough hits and LOLs and, oh my God, this is the greatest Instagram photo ever, then everybody will do that. You know, I don't know. Someone will plank on it. If people remember that fucking moment of creativity, laying face down on something. I'm not laying face down and not doing anything. I'm planking. Oh, Jesus, Bill, a couple of beers and you become even more cuntier, huh? Why don't you order a side order of tampons there? Anyways, I resent the fact that I have to still do these fucking things. All right, I'm on vacation. Do you go to work when you're on vacation? I don't think you do. My relatives came out to that show when I was in England, and they bought me a bottle. I don't know why, but they of salted caramel. Oh my God, cocoa vodka liqueur, and it's just been sitting here staring at me. And I got to be honest with you, I'm just wondering. I got to know what that hangover feels like. It's like, you ever watch one of those, as far as hangovers go? You ever watch, oh, sounds like it's almost nap time. You ever watch one of those things on like what the Army Ranger training or Navy SEAL training? Yeah, this is like like you think you had a fucking hangover. Like you think you're out there, right? You think you're working out, doing your little CrossFit shit and running up down the street while I sit there in a fucking cafe getting hammered, wearing my little sport coat, you know, like you're fucking showing me up like I'm impressed with you and you think you're a badass. Then you watch that shit. You watch what fucking Army Rangers and all those special force people, right? I mean, just next level fucking people. The people that Matt Damon plays in a movie. You know what I mean? Not the people that get applause as they trudge through the airport in their fatigues to go sit into a cubicle to order grenades that they're never going to throw. These are the fucking people that A-list movie stars play, right? Well, this bottle here, this is like, I don't know if this is the fucking, this hangover, right? You know when they lift up that fucking log, those Army Rangers, and there's like fucking 20 of them, and then when somebody fucking falls over and pukes, and they got to pick up their own puke and take it outside the zone, and then they're out, and now there's 19 of you, and then you got to hold up his weight, whatever that fucking metaphor is. Oh my God, you know how fast I would be out of that pit? I would like, dude, I need my back for the rest of my life, okay? And I don't need the pressure of everybody else is defending on me, and I'm the weak link in the chain. I understand this. I'm barely surviving standing out here in the fucking sun. Forget about going over there and picking up a fucking telephone pole with fucking 9 other people who have the genetics of a fucking pit bull. Okay, I don't. I'm a lap dog, okay? I'm the kind of dog that could go on a plane before they had that bullshit where you could say, oh, this thing is like helping me emotionally. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Did that fill up enough time? Fuck, 9 minutes? This is like when I'm bombing on stage and I'm like, oh, God, I just got to end this set. I got to do a half hour. It's got to be like 28 minutes, right? 9 minutes. I'm out of fucking material. So anyways, we are staying in what I'm not gonna tell you where the fuck we are. There'll be some weirdo somehow will find me. Then I gotta fucking sit there and answer questions about how to start a podcast in Paris. Excusez-moi, Monsieur Guillaume Burr, how you say Olympus LSD? Anyways, plowing ahead. So my condolence to my fellow Americans right now if you're not into baseball, because that's the only game in town, baby. And don't even talk to me about the W and NBA. I know it's much better. The level of play is much better. I understand that. Okay? But that's like, it's very rare. UFC did it. UFC did it. And they went, not only did they start after the big three, really, and then hockey comes along. But when you wait until they add Seattle. You wait till they add Seattle and all those fucking rain-drenched lumberjacks, okay, who are tired of all of those fucking ridiculous, hairy fucking muffs up there, have another thing that they can focus their attention on. You wait till the NHL is going to start nipping at the heels of, I'm going to say baseball. I'm going to go with baseball. All right? They built a bunch of new stadiums. The steroid era is over. And they're just sort of settling into like, this is what we do. You know? If I were the owners in the MLB right now, I would say, all right, we need some sort of synthetic fucking steroid. All right? We'll do it just like the pharmaceutical companies did with heroin. Okay? We'll make a synthetic version of steroids and we'll just sort of leak it into, sunflower seeds. And then all of a sudden, all the fucking numbers are going to start going up, right? I mean, didn't you like wrestling better when everyone was on roids? I mean, if they would just let them work a 5-day work week, not work them into the ground where they fucking die. I mean, roids are great, aren't they? At this point, don't they have them like like weed? You can have like the what do they call that thing there? The little mister there, little weed aroma thing you can buy. The fuck do you call that thing? Breathalyzer. No, not a breathalyzer. That's for drinking and driving, Bill. You should have seen what the fucking breathalyzer looked like when I took it at the police station when I got busted for drinking and driving almost 30 fucking years ago. It looked like a bagpipe mixed with a douchebag. It's this giant rubber fucking hose. Go on, blow into it. I was just puffing out my cheeks, trying not to blow into it, because I knew I had a big number. I knew I had a number that even if I had F. Lee fucking Bailey, I wasn't getting out of it. Might have to have a last name like Bush, Kennedy, one of those fucking royalty names. One of those regal fucking names that everybody in England refuses to recognize. That not only are they on par with the royal family, I would dare say that they're a little bit beyond. We're taking callers. By the way, I want to thank the country of Ireland, all right, for coming up with the fucking jumpers, all right? This thing has been the shit. Late night in Paris, walking around smoking a cigar, with my stupid fucking Brian Johnson AC/DC hat on. I really look like the old man that I am, and I'm enjoying it, God, I was thinking this morning, laying in bed, not being able to sleep, I was thinking back to some shit when I was a kid, and I was thinking like, oh my God, that's like 45 fucking years ago. 45 years ago was 1973. Now in 1973, if I ran into a 50-year-old guy and he said, I was here 45 years ago, what year would that be, everybody? That would be 1928, according to my couple of beers math. That's how fucking old I am now. Like to a 5-year-old kid right now, 1973 was what 1928 was to me when I was 5 years old. Not that I really contemplated. I used to think the 1950s were the olden days. That's what really fucking kills me. When I was 5 years old, it's like I could have saw Elvis. I think he wasn't even fat yet. Could have gone into Vegas and watched him treat me like a fool. Treat me mean and cruel. Watch him sing that song for the 9,000th time that fucking week out in Vegas, I think the mob killed him. I really do. The colonel probably signed him to some lifetime contract, and then when he just got all fat eating those peanut butter fucking banana sandwiches, they were just like, all right, we got to get rid of this guy. Isn't that what happens in the mob? Does anybody like die of old age? I know you can die of a heart attack. Sitting around eating all that fucking, was it linguine? That's the one that's bad for you, right? It's like a fucking butter-based cream sauce. Jesus Christ, just sitting there slurping it up. Having to look at the door every 2 seconds so nobody comes in and whacks you. I've never understood it. Beyond the cars and the pinky rings and the great suits and the fucking hottest women in the fucking town. If you can't sit down and eat a bowl of pasta without staring at the fucking door every 2 seconds, is it really fucking worth it? Maybe it is. I don't know. At some point I should start taking callers rather than just asking fucking questions that float out into the fucking abyss. 15 minutes? That's it? Jesus. I feel like I'm in fucking math class back in high school. Oh my God. Sine, cosine, tangent. Just fucking flunk me. Is that so hard? Do we really have to go through 180 days of this shit? Can't you tell right from the beginning? You don't do any scouting? They didn't. It was public schools. And you know what? It was all free. It was all free. But not now. Not now, because every fucking kid out there needs a goddamn tablet and 15,000 other fucking things. Okay? And public schools can't afford to do that anymore now, can they? Oh, they could. They could if we weren't fighting fucking 3,500 fucking jerk-offs without uniforms that train on a fucking jungle gym, acting like that's somehow going to overthrow this country. Huh? Despite the fact we've done battle with first world nations and beat their asses. Do you understand that? This is a team that's not even in the fucking league. This is a friendly. We're sitting here acting like this is going to go up against our fucking record. Unbelievable. And meanwhile, these poor fucking kids in America are going to school right now, and we're not even decent enough with their own tax money to provide them tablets that they can go on to ignore their assignments and watch free online porn. That's why I'm actually thinking about sending my kid to public schools, because they can't afford any of that shit, right? And then maybe my kid can go, actually have a childhood before, some other fucking degenerate kid comes up and shows them God knows fucking what on their phone or their tablet or all of that shit. You know what I mean? I know I've talked about this shit before. I know that I've said already on this podcast that I've talked about this shit before. I don't care. This is like, I'm going down memory fucking lane. All right? This is I think this is my first podcast officially, like, past the hangover of turning 50. I am in my 50s. And let me tell you something. When you get in your 50s, you think you know shit. What are you talking about, you fucking little whippersnapper? Okay, I've been around the block for half a fucking century. You know how many times I've been around the sun without even noticing? Somebody actually sent me that as a birthday thing. Congratulations for like your 10,000th trip around the fucking sun or something like that. I think it was like 10,000, right? Isn't that how many times you go around the sun? 50 years? I hope I way over exaggerated just for that person that knows the answer so they can feel better about themselves. 10,000. I mean, you well 10,000. You like staring at a pterodactyl. Oh, really? Hey, why don't you go fucking spew that out in a bar and see if you get any fucking pussy out of it? Oh, Bill, is that what it's all about? All right. I'm not even going to look that up. How long does it take for the Earth? Oh, wait, once a year. It goes around the sun once a year, doesn't it? I think I remember that. I think I got that right on a science test. All right, here we go. How long does it take for the Earth to go around the sun? I know this fucking thing, right? It takes 24 hours for the thing to spin around, and it takes a year for it to go around. This they won't even answer me. That's how dumb this question was. It immediately goes to this visualization shows how fast you're spinning around Earth's axis. I don't care. If I can't feel it, why do I want to know it? I don't give a shit. Fucking Earth spinning on its axis is like eating iceberg lettuce with nothing on it. You know what I mean? How does that taste? Like, I don't know. Nothing? How the Earth moves. Pluto. This is how dumb this question. The answer's not even here. Oh, and somehow Joe Rogan's on this. this is the thing that nobody really considers. You know as much about... I don't even want to read that. The fucking state I'm in right now. Joe Rogan reads, people. Okay? If that's the podcast you're looking for, I suggest you go to the Joe Rogan Experience. I think the Earth goes around the sun once a year. I'm going to say once a year. I feel like that last family member on Family Feud, you know? Everybody can somehow scrape together 4 smart brothers, sisters, and maybe a random cousin. But when you try to get that 5th person, you know, the drop-off is tremendous. Okay, so what do? You always stick them there, the last fucking one. And they'll just name us a type of dog, you know, and it'd be like fucking a German Shepherd, big number 1. You guys want to play? Yeah. And then they go to the next person, you know, and they fucking throw out a Dalmatian, and then you get all the way down to the 5th guy. Name a type of dog. Just fucking. I can't even think of a dumb answer for a type of dog. That's too easy. How many times does the Earth go around the sun? How long does it take for the Earth to go around the sun? Bill, how long do you think it takes for the Earth to go around the sun? If you get this, you guys will be playing for all the money. If not, the Drinkwater family has a chance to steal. What do you say, Bill? Could you repeat the question? Yeah, no, I can't. I fucking said it 4 times. All right. How long does it take for the Earth to spin around the sun? Richard, please don't kiss me. I'm going to say a year and a half. Right? Which is the dumbest fucking, at least, you know it's a solid fucking year. You know it's a round number. You're not going to say fucking 18 months, right? But then all your other 4 family members, as they're staring daggers at you have to fucking stand there and start clapping and say, good answer, good answer, good answer. And in the 40 fucking years that show's been on, nobody has ever just stared at another family member and be like, what the fuck did you just say? Or looked at another family member and said, I told you we shouldn't have brought this dumb fuck. That has never happened. Well, you know why, Bill? Because it's a game show. And people are having fun, something you don't know how to do. All right. Hey, you know, I never like what do you call it? Promote a podcast coming up. But I got a podcast coming up on June 28th, the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And my guest will be none other than the one and only Dave Elich, one of the great drummers in the world, and also my drum teacher. And he has a new drum instructional website. Awesome. Fucking all of the shit that he's been showing me and everybody else, everyone from my level all the way up to some of the best drummers in the world. And he's going hard on this thing. And he's going to show you guys all the shit that he's shown me. So he's going to be coming on promoting that, talking drums and all that type of stuff. Just giving you guys a heads up. Because I think that whole educational thing is going to be fucking insane, because I know from firsthand experience working with that guy over the last couple of years, it has been a monumental shift in my playing, and I'm just some fucking comedian that likes playing drums. Having said that, the amount of fucking people that showed me that 8-year-old Asian girl playing Good Times, Bad Times and absolutely destroying. That's one of my favorite videos of all time, despite the fact I've been trying to play that song for 30 years. Just the way she attacks the kit, the whole thing, total rock star. Comes out of the fill, hits the crash. She's coming out of the chair. Not only did she crush it, not only did she hit the drums like a fucking monster, she was unbelievably entertaining. And it was kids like that. They didn't have kids like that when I was a kid. That's like some fucking YouTube shit and the whole world showing you how to do stuff. I don't know what. Or maybe that's just a prodigy, but it was because of kids, you know, gifted kids like that, why I shifted away from drums and ended up being a comedian. Because I would go into the, you know, not every time, but it felt like almost every time, I would go into the local music store You know, before fucking Guitar Center was just the one everybody went to. I used to go to a place, Norfolk County Music on Route 1 in Dedham, I believe is where I bought my drum kit way back in the day. Back then when the Child World was down there, you know what I mean? I forget what else was down there. Before Toys R Us fucking took over everything, there was Child World. You went by Leechmere's in fucking Dedham, all of that area right over there. And that great Chinese restaurant. The movie theater, all of that shit that I remember as a kid that's now fucking long gone, I assume. I would go in there and there would always just be some kid would pick up something. A guitar, a fucking xylophone, a goddamn triangle, and would not be just sitting down going, dun, 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 you know, saying something somebody else said. They'd come in there and they would just start fucking playing. And you could tell that it was coming from them. Or if they played something, they would then add, you know, that you'd heard on the radio, they would then add something, their own little thing to it. And they just had ideas and they were creative and all that. And I was, musically, I was those people outside the fucking the Louvre and standing there, you know, putting my finger on top of the goddamn, whatever the fuck you call it, the pyramid. Well, that was depressing. Jesus, Bill, way to bum yourself out. Maybe I'll have some of that vodka du chocolat. I apologize for my growling stomach, by the way. That's what happens when you're on a liquid diet. And then I'm just going to come back to the States here in about a week or so. And I'll be right back on the wagon. See, that's what I can do. I can drink like an alcoholic and then just step off the fucking wagon, the bus, whatever you call it, the party wagon, and just start walking down the street like nothing happened, like a fucking hitman, right? Like Barry, like Bill Hader and Barry. Just fucking walk away like nothing happened. Anyways, let me read some of the advertising here for this week. All right. I have this opening note. The mushroom coffee dude asked that you don't say it tastes like mushrooms. Other than that, say anything. Thanks. Well, that's fucking easy. All right. Who would think mushroom coffee doesn't taste like mushrooms? I like mushrooms. All right. I actually had a fucking crepe today. Je voudrais une crêpe. Un crêpe, whatever the fuck it is. Avec jambon et fromage. Ouais. I'm sorry. I apologize to anybody remotely French. All right. Quip. Sorry. The truth is, most of us are brushing our teeth wrong. Is that how you do it? Fucking stabbing yourself in the eye. Not for long enough, and forget to change our brush on time. That's because most brands focus on selling flashy gimmicks rather than better brushing. But not Quip. Not these fucking guys. So what makes Quip so different, you may not have asked? Well, for starters, Quip is an electric toothbrush that's a fraction of the cost of bulkier brushes, while still packing just the right amount of vibrations to help clean your teeth. Your teeth, ladies. Your teeth. Keep the vibration above your neck there. Quip's built-in timer helps you clean for the dentist-recommended 2 minutes with guiding pulses that remind you when it's time to switch sides. You don't even have to think anymore. Next, Quip's subscription plans are for your health, not just convenience. They deliver new brush heads on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5, including free shipping worldwide, on a dentist-recommended schedule that they paid the dentist probably to say sooner than you needed so they could sell more brush heads. And that's how the world works. And goddamn it, Quip, God bless you for fucking playing the game. Quip also comes with a mount that suctions right to your mirror and unsticks when you break up with that chick to use as a cover for hygienic travel wherever you take your teeth. And finally, everyone loves Quip. Everybody does. Everybody loves it. They were on Oprah's O list. Oprah's O list. Oh, I need to paint my mansion. Yeah, I'll fucking say you got a good toothbrush. Named one of Time's best invention, sorry, not intervention, and it's the first subscription electric toothbrush accepted by the American Dental Association. I got to tell you guys, you know why I love an electric toothbrush? Okay, and this is some serious shit, is I used to use the handheld ones. I was like, fuck electric toothbrushes, those things are bullshit. And I ended up brushing my gum away along my fucking tooth line. Ended up having, you know, a borderline gingivitis type of situation. Not that. What do they call it when you receding gum? Whatever the fuck you call that. But what's great about these electric toothbrushes is you don't have to move back and forth. You just put it on there. It does all the goddamn work. I stand by this. Despite all the negative shit I said, I stand by this product. Plus, they're backed by a network of over 20,000 dentists and hygienists and hundreds of thousands of happy brushers who use Quip every day. Quip, well, I hope they do, animals. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/Burr right now, you'll get your first refill pack for free with Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com. GETQUIP, fucking stomach.com/Burr. Spelled, I just did that. I just spelled it out. All right. 4 Sigmatic mushroom coffee, man. 4 Sigmatic comes from Finland, so you know it's good. The Finns defeated fucking the Russians in World War II. You think they can't make you a cup of coffee? The same country that gave us Santa Claus, Angry Birds, Tuukka Rask, the goaltender for the Boston Bruins, and mushroom coffee. Finnish people consume more coffee per capita than any other country. Almost 3 times more than Americans. All right, you don't got to get all competitive. During World War II, when there was a shortage of coffee, the Finnish boiled mushrooms that grow on trees to make coffee. Mushroom coffee has half the caffeine of regular coffee, but is twice as magical. I don't know why I want to drink this stuff so bad. Easy on the gut, less acidic, and you don't get the jittery feeling you get from regular coffee. It has a very smooth, earthy flavor with some sweet notes in there for people who drink their coffee black. Called adaptogenic. What about for people who like their women black? Will I enjoy the coffee a little more? It gives you extra energy without more caffeine or sugar. Perfect for creativity. Hey, man, let's start a band. Helps when you need to get work done. Think of it as supercharged instant coffee. This sounds like some weed people talk about. Comes in easy to use and carry single-serving packets. Just add water. Perfect for travel and when you're on the go. Costs just $1.50 per cup. Get 15% off your first purchase with code BURR. How much money would that be, everybody? It would be 15 cents on the dollar, 7.5 on the 50 cents. I would say that's 22.5 cents. How the fuck do you do that? Just go to 4sigmaticcoffee.com and try it for yourself. All right, lastly, but not leastly, LegalZoom. It's time for a mid-year check-in. If you're like everyone else, you have a few things left on your to-do list for 2018, and that's why LegalZoom is extending their friends and family discount to everyone right now. That means for a limited time, you get 10% off the things you keep putting off. If you're a small business owner, make your accountant happy by saving on your LLC, DBA, S Corp, and more. You can also save money wrapping up your last will or living trust before you go on summer vacation. LegalZoom's not a law firm, but don't worry. If legal questions are holding you up, their network of independent attorneys can provide advice for your business and your estate plans and more. Accomplish the things you need to get done at LegalZoom.com now and save 10% with LegalZoom's friends and family discount. Just be sure. Who am I doing right now? Da-da-da. Oh, who the fuck? That was some talking head. Just be sure to enter promo code BURR in the referral box at checkout. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. This offer is only available for a limited time, so hurry to LegalZoom.com right now and use promo code BURR for 10% off. LegalZoom, where life meets legal. LegalZoom.com. Who the fuck was I just imitating? One of those talking head fucking people and one of those mindless... Oh, it was one of those mindless fucking YouTube shows. I forget what that show was called. I have no idea. Anyways, people, I think I did it. I think I did 34 minutes. All right. we're going to do something interesting here. Last week, I went to the finals of Roland Garros here in Paris. And for those of you who didn't get to watch it, for those of you who've never been there live, I would like to close this Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, with the sounds of the French Open as done by Monsieur Guillaume Burr. All right, this is a point. All right, and this is the two guys there. I forget who's who at this point. All right, here we go. This is what it sounded like. Serve to point. All right. He. Yay! That one that missed was the drop shot that fucked up the other guy. All right, I'll see you. That's the Thursday afternoon. Go fuck yourself. Have a great weekend, you cunts. Enjoy the music, and we got another half hour of this type of bullshit from one that I did, I don't know, a while ago. See you. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr. It's the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, June 14th, 2010. How the hell are you? Are you good? Did you have a good weekend? Did you? Did you go down to that place with the thing? I heard it was nice. Was it nice? It is nice. Oh, that's nice. My son, he had a recital this weekend, and we were so nervous. He was all a-flustered. And more suburban talk about shit that nobody cares about. Of course, Frank was in the back with the garden hose. It froze up over the winter. So we have to buy a new one of those. So, you know, Frank, of course, he goes on the internet and he just starts researching all about those hoses. I don't know. Can you imagine just sitting there at the end of a cul-de-sac like that is your fucking reality? Rather than having a wine cellar, I would just have a secret room of fucking porn with Kleenex for me to either rub one out or just sit there crying at what became of my life. Honey, can you go out and fix his bicycle? No. Why doesn't he go climb a fucking tree? Jesus Christ. What did they do in the 1800s? You wonder why the environment's so fucked up? That's it right there, everybody. You just don't want to go out and be a part of your kids' lives. I don't. That's why I told you I enjoyed condoms. I didn't enjoy condoms. I just didn't want to bust one in you without one on. And now I did. And now look at it. Look at my face, sweetheart. Can't you see the misery? Fuck him. Well, he half looks like you. You go fix his fucking bike. I'm not yelling. I'm not. All right, so this is the podcast for this week. I got to admit, this is like the 15th time I've tried to start it. I don't know what's going on. I'm in my bedroom. It's fucking hot out because the sun shines on this part of my apartment during this time of the day, which is why usually I do this in the morning because it's nice and cool.
And then the podcast is cool as opposed to now where it's stressed and a little sweaty. You know? Speaking of sweat, you guys been watching the NBA Finals? Have you been watching that shit? This series, I can't call it. Lakers won the first game, and I was like, Jesus Christ, they look unbelievable. Then the Celtics come back, and I still wasn't believing in them. And I was like, you know what? Whoever wins Game 3, they're going to win the series. That's the pivotal fucking game. And then the Lakers win, and I'm like, fuck, we're done. We're done. Then the Celtics win the next game, 2-2. Yeah, but what the fuck? You know, Lakers will win the next one because that's how it's going. And then, bam, the Celtics win again. So they're up 3-2. Now, logic would say, well, all they got to do is win 1 out of 2. They're evenly matched. They're going to fucking do it. But there's nothing logical about this series. It's been a war. And I hope you guys have been watching because it has been a classic. And people stepping up. Not too many bonehead mistakes, although Laker fans might say a thing or two about Ron Artest. I could pick at some of my fucking players. But, it's been a classic goddamn series. And usually I trash the other team, but I got nothing but respects for the Lakers. I got nothing but they're a fucking great team. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to close it out the next game. Will we win 7 games? Will the Lakers win the next 2? I don't fucking know. But I don't understand why they can't play a game on Saturday night. What is the NBA afraid of? We have TiVos. I don't know. I already fucking examined this shit. I was just glad we swatted Pau Gasol a couple of times last night. Gave him a nice cold bucket of water to remind him of what a fucking bitch we think he is. Nah, he's been playing great the whole goddamn series. And Kobe is that guy's, he is unfucking guardable. That guy's unguardable. That third quarter he had, Game 5 last night, was unbelievable. You see that fucking three-pointer? Was he like 15 feet behind the line? And what killed me is he threw it like, it looked like a Shaq foul shot, except it went in. It was like a frozen rope. There was like barely any arc on the ball, and there was still nothing but net. It's like he fucking defies the laws of physics. And there's a lot of people out there, as my voice cracks a little bit, because I've been screaming for 7 successful shows at Caroline's this weekend. I fucking raped the crowd this weekend. I was in a zone, baby. I was having a great fucking time out that way. But let's stick with the Lakers. People keep fucking comparing, saying, he's the next Jordan. He isn't. This is how you know somebody isn't the next Jordan, is they're compared to Michael Jordan. They say he's the next Jordan. All right? So all that means is that you're playing at is he playing at the same level as Michael? Yes, he is. Well, dude, if you say he's playing at the same fucking level as Michael Jordan, then how can you say he's not Michael Jordan? I'll tell you why. This is the fucking difference. Michael Jordan changed the fucking game. And I keep telling you sports cunts this, and you don't fucking listen to me. It's like you don't hear me. You don't understand. All right? It's like, it's like fucking Christopher Columbus. Before that guy came along, everybody thought the world was flat. Then if you sailed too far, you'd go right off the edge of it. But Columbus realized that it was round and there was people to be massacred on the other side of the fucking globe. He realized that. And he became the first fucking guy to go over where they didn't think, well, maybe some people say the Vikings, but whatever. Let's just go with him getting the fucking credit, all right? Just so I can make my example work here. Now, after he fucking does it, if another guy comes along and he does it too, he sailed at the level of Columbus, but he didn't do some groundbreaking shit, which is what Jordan did. Jordan changed the fucking game. Kobe is just playing the game at the same level as a Michael Jordan. He's playing the game, but he's not doing shit that I haven't seen Michael already do. So there you go. That's what I'm saying. The same way Dr. J changed basketball. Before Dr. J came in the fucking league, everybody in the league looked like, basically, half the league looked like they had my ability to play. And then all of a sudden he comes along and the game gets elevated above the fucking rim. And he's doing shit in the ABA that nobody even thought about doing. All right? And then everybody sees him do it, and it's like, oh, that's fucking possible. And then they practice his fucking moves. And now they're doing it, and it becomes a part of the fucking game. That's the difference, right? And before fucking Jordan came along, everyone's like, you got to have a center. You can't win without a big man. And Jordan was the first guy to come along and said, you know what? Fuck your big man and fuck your power forward and fuck the fact that I don't even have a goddamn center. And he did have a center, but the guy sucked. Luke Longley or Cartwright. He's like, fuck it. You know what? I don't need any of them. I'm going to jump over all of them and fucking throw it down. That's what I'm doing. Took it to the next level. Nobody dunked the way he fucking dunked until he did it. All that shit. You know what I'm saying. So stop with this shit. All right? But I will tell you this. Without a doubt, I think he's the most unbelievable fucking player that I've seen since Jordan. But there's still a major gap. Do you know what I mean? You guys understand what I'm trying to say here? It's like Miles Davis changed fucking music. Okay? Your buddy Billy down the street, he plays the trumpet. There's a difference. He's good at playing it. I'm not saying he's not good at playing it. I'm not saying he can't play the songs that Miles Davis made, but he's not fucking Miles Davis. Who the fuck goes from sports to Miles Davis? Is it any wonder this podcast is free? Do you know my web guy told me the other day I have over 250,000 downloads of my podcast? Not in a week. I don't know exactly how much time or how many people, maybe that's 14 listeners downloading it 58 fucking times each. Does that come out to 250,000? I don't know what it does, but I was impressed. And I was just thinking, you know what? What if I actually sold it for $1 a whack? That'd be 250 grand, right? Government comes in, wham. They knock it down to $1.25, right? Or maybe I get to keep $1.40 of it, but I got to fucking throw it on the crap table that is Wall Street. Then they fucking come along. They shake up the economy like an ant farm. Now I'm down to 30 grand. Right there. I still got 30 grand. I can go out and go buy another Prius. See how that works? That's how America works. Speaking of that shit, I was on the plane yesterday, okay, and this fucking dude comes on, with what I described as Game 7 BO. One of these dudes where he walks down, he doesn't smell, and then the second he goes to put his luggage into the overhead compartment, it's just like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. How did this guy make it through security? You know? I can't bring water through security, but he can bring this fucking stench onto the plane. Of course, he fucking sits right behind me. You know, and I'm just like, please just keep your fucking arms down. Fortunately, he did, but those guys always get on the cross-country fucking flights. So anyways, there was this adorable woman next to me, and she was from Australia. Had the little fucking accent and all that type of shit. So whatever, long story short, we're taking off from JFK, and one of the runways is shut down, so it's taken for fucking ever, right? A couple people on the plane are in wheelchairs, so that takes more time, you know, your proverbial fat fucks, you know, the whole deal. So we take off like an hour and a half late. Just the whole fucking thing. By the time we land, there's no gate, and then we got to sit there and wait to get towed in, and the whole thing's taking forever. And she does this shit where she just goes, is everything in America slow? You know? So I let it slide. And then the plane lands, and we're all trying to see who won the Celtics or the Lakers because we all missed the fucking game. Thank God ESPN showed the replay. I caught the second half. And it goes around the plane like wildfire. You know, the Celtics won. And this girl in my row was joking about how much people give a shit. And then this girl makes a comic, something, you know, Americans, fucking blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, you know what? I let it slide with the first fucking one. But it's just really, you know, like, they always talk about the ignorant American. What kind of a fucking asshole comes here from another country and shits on the country to somebody who's from this country? When I was over in England, I didn't walk around saying to English people how fucking awful their torsos were. I didn't do that. They said, how you enjoyed England? I'm like, it's fucking great. I can't believe I'm over here. Royal Albert Hall, it's beautiful. I can't wait to come over here again. Phenomenal fucking city. I didn't say your food sucks. You guys all have Will Ferrell mushy torsos. I didn't say any of that shit. I didn't talk about your teeth being fucked up. I didn't talk about the weird inbred look because you've all been fucking each other in the same goddamn strip of land for fucking thousands of years. I didn't do that shit. I was on my best behavior. And here I am sitting next to this fucking clam. Is everything in America slow? As opposed to what? That beacon of speed that fucking Australia is? Fucking people. You know, I went to Australia. I was there for like 3 days. I had a good time down there. But, you know, I could have picked that place apart. All the unemployed people just sitting in bars drinking. Fucking idiot. You know, same fucking cunts. Same goddamn, just cunts. That's all it is. Everybody taking pot shots in America now. That's what it is, because we've been on top and we've been exploiting their labor. And I guess maybe we deserve a little bit of that shit. But you know what? Look in the fucking mirror, Australia. Or woman from Australia. The fuck? I went there. I wasn't like, wow, like I was going into the future. Can I have a ham? And then the fucking sandwich is right in my hand before I even finish it. I didn't find them to be overly fast over there either. You wait. You fucking wait. You think it's not coming your way? Our corporations are just ahead of the curve of where your corporations are. Our corporations have basically exploited every last legal way that they can make more fucking money over here. So now they're just stealing. They're just stealing. And they're cutting fucking staff members. I actually had to wait like a half hour, 40 minutes to get my bag last night. I think it was that Sunday thing once again. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, so we just have like a skeleton crew. I don't know. All I'm saying, you know, it's just bugging me. It's like, do you think I know that shit isn't a little fucked up over here? Do I need you to come over here? I would never be in Australia and go like, yeah, Australians. To another fucking Australian. You know, that's the type of shit. I should feel like fucking stuffing her in a goddamn boogie board bag. Boogie board bag. Why did I pick that? Because I saw that documentary of that stupid fuck from Australia who's put 200 pounds of fucking weed into her boogie board bag, right? Alliteration for you. And then goes to like Bali. You know, if you even have cold medication, they hang you by your balls in the public square. And she gets life imprisonment. Well, that's what you get, you dumb fuck. That's what you get. That's one of my... You know what? Fuck Australia. That's how it works. You see, and that's how it works right there. There's a lot of people in Australia right now maybe listening to this shit going, you know, I would never say that. I would never do that if I went, yeah, well, one of you did. So there you go. Do you think Germany likes to be judged by Hitler alone? They don't. I bet there's a lot of sweethearts over in Germany. Look at all those fucking fat, jolly people during Oktoberfest running around dressed like they're in Hansel and Gretel. You know? Shitting on each other or whatever weird fetishes they're into over there. All right. What? And it just fucking bugs me. Anyways, it was my birthday this weekend. I had a wonderful birthday. I did two sold out shows. That's a lie. The first show was sold out. The second one was like 90% sold out on a Thursday, by the way. And afterwards, I had a slice of cake and a shot of whiskey. And then another shot of whiskey. And I'll tell you right now, if you want a fucking hangover, have a slice of birthday cake with a little bit of Makers, and you're going to be in business. That was wrong, guys. I really fucking abused my body this weekend. I really did. And I blame, you know who I blame? I blame Joe DeRosa. I just blame him. There's just something about him. You know, he comes down. He's got that stupid look on his face. He already has a drink in his fucking hand. And, you know, I don't want to drink with him, but it's like I know he was adopted. It's like, what, am I going to be yet another person who rejects this poor bastard? That's the only reason why I drink. Hang on a second. I got to turn the fan up. This is fucking bullshit. All right. Well, how far are we into it? 16 pathetic minutes into this podcast. This has really been a lackluster podcast, and I want to apologize. And I got to tell you something, guys. I've started this thing like fucking 6 times already, and I don't know. I'm off this week. Look at me. I'm attacking my good friend Joe DeRosa. You know, it's a good friend of mine. Love the guy, respect him. And even though when he sits down, I look at him and he looks like he has wheelchair legs. Next time, if you guys ever go out and you see Joe DeRosa sitting at the back of a club, just look, when he sits down, tell me it looks like his legs work. You know, every time he stands up, you get like that excitement, like you're seeing a miracle happening. No, don't see what I'm doing. I'm attacking Joe. He's not even here to defend himself. Oh, geez, there, Bill. What are you doing? It was my birthday this weekend, and I got a lot of birthday well wishes on my birthday. I want to thank everybody, and then I also got a lot of happy belated birthday, and I really don't enjoy that. All right, if you didn't remember, then fucking man up and just say, yeah, hey, I forgot your birthday. Sorry about that. You know, I was busy in my own life, or you know, maybe I don't give a fuck about you enough to remember it. Just say that. Say happy belated birthday. I don't like that. That's like Merry Xmas. Taking all the fun out of it. All right? If you forgot my birthday, do you think I actually remember that you didn't fucking say happy birthday to me? I was totally fine with whoever said happy birthday to me on my birthday. And then you got to come the next fucking day. You know, I'm still smiling. I still got frosting on the side of my mouth. I'm having a great goddamn time. And you got to come up to me and wish me a happy belated birthday to remind me that you didn't give a fuck enough to fucking wish me a happy birthday. Right before you said that, I didn't know that you didn't wish me a happy birthday, nor did I give a shit. I actually looked up belated because I didn't know what it meant. I know what belated birthday means. You missed my birthday. Sorry about that. But belated is one of those weird words in the English language that is used, but it's only used then. Do you ever hear belated at any other point during the year? Jesus Christ, look at that fucking belated pizza. Son of a bitch. You don't. This is like a bad 80s bit. What's the deal with the word belated? Belated actually means later in relation to the proper time something should have happened. So like when I finally get like married, will I have a belated wedding? You know, if a woman carries a baby for fucking 10 months, do they have belated giving birth cards? Jesus, I really should be wearing a fucking 80s sports coat right now with the sleeves pulled up. One of those Miami Vice t-shirts underneath it, spiking up what's left of my hair. You know? Coming up on stage to like some sort of rip-off of the Top Gun theme. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Funny Bone. I wish I did stand up in the 80s. It just seems so much easier. And you could like literally do coke and go on stage and nobody had a fucking problem with it. You could be absolutely out of your fucking mind. And it was considered okay because it was the 80s. I tell you what, why don't we just actually jump to the some of the segments that I have here. Let's recommend some YouTube videos for the week, okay? And why don't we just settle in that this isn't going to be one of the good podcasts, okay? Why don't we just take the pressure off me and just realize that this isn't going to be one of the good ones? You know, look at the Coen brothers. Every one of their movies good? Are they? I don't fucking know. I just had to pick somebody really successful. I bet they made a bad one. So whatever. This is my fucking bad one. Kind of like, what's his face? That M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, right? He made The Sixth Sense. Everybody went crazy. And then he made that movie where the guy takes the nap and the lawnmower runs over him. You know, they can't all be gems, people. Look at AC/DC, my favorite band of all time. They make like 9 good records in a row, and then they make what is it, Blow Up Your Video? They had that bad period. Fly on the Wall. Who Made Who? Blow Up Your Video. Yeah, you know what it is? They got outside their wheelhouse. They were actually trying to make a statement. Where it's like, no, you guys are AC/DC. You talk about balls, the devil, and fucking. Okay? Don't start making social commentary about what's happening to the art of music because it's going to go off the rails, and that's exactly what happened. Do I actually have the nerve to try to drag AC/DC into this tailspin of a podcast? I apologize. The fuck is wrong with me? Okay, let's recommend some YouTube videos for the week. videos. Oh, you got to see this one. Look up 21-foot rule, less talk, more action. And it's a psycho who he's basically saying, he's talking to gun people. I guess this guy's a knife sword guy. And he's talking about the 21-foot rule, that in the amount of time it's going to take you to pull out a gun, I guess, or whatever, and squeeze off a shot, he's going to close the distance and stab your cardboard torso. So check that out. 21-foot rule. And less talk, more action. And then there's a couple of good parody ones. There's the 121-foot rule, where it's a fat fuck doing the 21-foot rule from 121 feet. And then there's the 21-foot rule lightsaber. And by the way, all of these, if you don't want to search for these videos, if you want them right at your fingertips, if typing is too much of a bother because you're too busy, all you have to do is go to the mmpodcast.com. And all the videos will be up there. And right at the tip of your fingers. You can select them. You can watch them. And that's what you can do. And I could actually come up maybe with something else good to say about the page if I wasn't so fucking off this week. I'm just off, people. All right? We know it, Bill. We know it sucks. Okay? We got it. All right, here's another one to watch. Watch One Crazy Red Sox Fan. And it's basically about a Red Sox fan who goes to a Yankees game and starts serving clam chowder outside the stadium during a Red Sox-Yankees game, but only to Red Sox fans. And if you just want to see what you look like when you're drunk at the game, just watch this video, because it's pretty much equally embarrassing on both sides, the level of fucking morons. Although I have to say, a bunch of Boston chicks show their tits on it. But then again, that's because they're happy. Women don't show their tits when they're mad at you, so I guess none of the Yankee skanks showed their tits on it. But definitely check that shit out. But here's what I should have talked about when I was talking about the Celtics-Lakers. I was talking last week about why do we care so much about sports? You know? Why was I on the plane flying across the country absolutely livid that I wasn't going to be able to watch the game, but part of me was relieved that when I got off the plane, I was just going to hear the results and know one way or the other. You know what I mean? You just get fucking one right to the back of the head rather than sitting there slowly, I don't know, slowly getting something that slowly fucking happens that's funny, right? You know what? Fuck. You know what? I am fucking. If I fucking say one more thing that's not funny on this goddamn podcast, I'm going to fucking erase it 25 minutes in, which would be an unprecedented move. Okay? I bail out of these things like a fucking test pilot. 3 minutes in, 5 minutes in, 6 minutes, even 10 minutes in. I've never been less funny for fucking 25 minutes that I'm going to scrap this goddamn project. This is pathetic. This is like that fucking plane that took off like a helicopter and kept killing people and was so fucked up, even Dick Cheney finally said, you know what, fuck it. It's not worth it. But we spent $4 billion. Yeah, but they keep fucking going in the ground like a goddamn lawn dart. That's what's happening this week. Fucking sweating my ass off in my bedroom. That's what I'm going to blame. I'm going to blame the climate. All right. I had a little temper tantrum. Let's talk about sports here. Why we care. This is what, I was asking last week. Why do people give a fuck about sports? Why do you care to this level? Why do you cheer on these guys, half of whom would blow you off if you saw them? You know? Mike Mussina, that fucking douchebag, he doesn't even smile during a game. You think he's going to give you a fucking autograph? Is he even in the league anymore? Why don't you bring up Vita Blue, Bill? There's a nice up-to-date fucking reference. Okay, why we care. This guy has a great theory. Thank God I'm going to be reading somebody else's words. I hope he has something funny to say. All right, first off, I want to say I love the podcast. Not after this one, sweetheart. You're doing God's work. Anyway, I might not be able to explain why all sports fans care about their respective teams, but I thought I'd tell you why I care and see if you or anyone else can relate. There are two main reasons why I not only watch sports, but actually allow events that are usually happening nowhere near me, involving a bunch of people I never have, nor will I ever meet, affect my mood in either a positive or a negative way. First off, is the sheer unpredictability of it. Oh, God, I'm the worst. Okay, so you were surprised when you found out the kid in Sixth Sense was already dead, or when Kevin Spacey started walking straight in the end of The Usual Suspects? Well, neither of those were worth a shit compared to a guy catching a pass with his helmet while being dropped on his fucking head in the last minute of a fucking Super Bowl to keep the winning drive alive. What a great fucking point that is. A great game in a major sport, football, basketball, baseball, and I'll even throw in hockey as a courtesy to me. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you for actually thinking about me. Watching a great game in either one of those major sports is for me better than the best movie or TV show. It's the ultimate fucking drama, and as far as I'm concerned, second, Jesus Christ, I can't fucking read. The font is too short. Second, following teams and players over time, you can see some inspiring shit. I love how this guy talks. Right when you think he's going to be intelligent, he starts cursing. This sounds like my act. You can see some inspiring shit. This guy, he's really a motivational fucking dickhead. As a Yankee fan, I watched Derek Jeter go from some skinny kid I'd never heard of to arguably the greatest shortstop of the modern era. I watched Andy Pettitte go from an okay rookie to a fucking Jesus freak who did steroids. Sorry, that was me. Go from an okay rookie to a guy who has an outside shot at the Hall of Fame. Why? Because he admitted that he fucking did. I like how he just came out and admitted that he cheated, and that makes it okay. Is that all the bankers had to do? Yeah, sorry, we actually took all the money, and now old people are eating dog food, so they have a chance at being in the Hall of Fame of bankers? Is that what you're suggesting, sir? I really should stop heckling this because I actually agree with what he's saying here. So now I have to go back, tiny typing. On a smaller scale, I've seen a guy like Phil Hughes go from a rookie who looked overrated a couple years ago to a guy who's tearing up the league right now. I'm sure for all the faggy Laker fans, seeing Pau Gasol finally step up and show some testicles instead of allowing the Celts to punk him again is inspiring on some level. Watching players and teams overcome their struggles make me think that if these guys have it in themselves to go from just believing they can achieve great things to actually doing it, I can too. Maybe it sounds corny or like it came out of a Disney movie, but that's why I give a fuck about sports. You know, and I mean, how can you argue that shit? I mean, how many times do you watch a movie and within the first 10 minutes you can figure out where it's going? You know, there's the dude, he's a fucking loser. There's the fucking cool guy, he's the shit. He's treating the guy like shit. He's got the hot girlfriend. The loser guy is actually into it. Do I even need to finish it? Gee, how's that one going to end? Let me guess. The fucking good-looking girl finally realizes that her dickhead boyfriend, who treats her like shit from the beginning of the movie, is actually a dickhead boyfriend, dumps him, and then she actually gets with this guy. The fucking loser. How many times do they make that goddamn movie? You know? How many fucking movies all of a sudden, vampires? They just keep making movies about vampires, don't they? Or TV shows where all of a sudden vampires are sexy now? Is that what's going on? See that? That was a bad example. I thought I got the podcast back on fucking track. That was a terrible example. I went from being able to predict how a movie's going to go to talking about trends in movies. That they're making a bunch of fucking vampire movies. What I should be saying is that they're predictable. Actually, they are predictable. All right? Some cool new kid with a gray face is going to move to school and everyone's going to look like, say the guy looks like he's fucking dead, but there's something about him that everybody kind of likes. And all the girls' pussies are going to get wet because there's something about his extra long fucking canines. Number 6 and number 11 to all you fucking dental douchebags out there. You know? Then he fucking bites their neck, sucks their blood out, then they become fucking maniacs. But it takes 3 times. And somehow that fucking whore, is actually going to have a regular boyfriend, but she can't resist his gray-faced douchebag with the giant fucking teeth. She's going to bang him one other time. If she bangs him one more time, she's going to become a vampire. And her boyfriend, who should just say, fuck that bitch, if she wants to hang out with that big-toothed junkie cunt, Let her become a vampire. I don't give a fuck. For some reason, he's so pussy-whipped, he's got to go save her. And the only way to save her is to drive a stake through that fucking asshole's heart. And, gee, do you think he's going to do it? Do you think he's somehow going to save her in the end? Now, can you do that with sports? What is predictable in sports other than people are going to get absolutely fucking hammered and that they're going to be out of shape and that they're going to love their team when they're good and they're going to hate them when they're bad? But as far as the outcome of the game, you have no fucking idea. You know? Don't you think right now as a Celtics fan that I want to sit here and I want to start talking shit and say that it's a wrap? You know what? It's never a wrap. Look at the Bruins. Up 3-0 against the fucking Philadelphia Flyers. Go on and we lose. By the way, congratulations to the Chicago Blackhawks and my condolences to the Flyer fans. And I'm dead serious when I say it. A lot of people think that I fucking hate Philly because of that rant. When in reality, I was, just doing a show and I was trying to piss people off from Philly. All right? That was a great thing to see. But I got to admit, man, that was the worst winning of a championship I think I've ever seen. Just for those of you who don't watch hockey, Patrick Kane in overtime, an overtime goal to win the Stanley Cup. He shoots the puck. And this is really funny because people always who hate hockey to watch it on TV always say they can't see the puck. This fucking guy shot the puck, and it went into the net. It was from the side. He was almost parallel with the goal line, and he shot it in, and it disappeared into the side of the net. And no one knew where the puck was except for Patrick Kane, who shot it. So he starts celebrating, running down with his hands in the air, doing the jazz hands, And all his fucking teammates are kind of like, well, Patrick's freaking out. Dead silence in the Spectrum, or wherever the fuck you guys play, the Wachovia Center. Dead fucking silence. And then the refs had to go and do a review of it. And 5 minutes later, they were like, oh, yeah, you won the Stanley Cup. And then they had to regroup and get happy again. It was such a fucking buzzkill. But congratulations to the Blackhawks. And, hey, Maple Leaf fans, let me ask you something. Were you rooting for the Flyers? I bet you were. Because now you guys are the saddest fucking sacks in the league. Isn't that right? Oh, wait, is it 1967? Is that the last time you guys won it? I believe it is. But if you won it the last time in 1967, then you would actually be tied with the Expansion 6. Anybody in the Expansion 6 who didn't win it. And that would be the California Seals, who I think went on to become the Cleveland Barons, but they folded. So they tapped out. St. Louis Blues have never won it. Out of the Expansion 6, neither have the LA Kings. Minnesota North Stars won as the Dallas Stars in 1999. Penguins won it last year. They won it 2 times, 91 and 92. Look at this. Why do I have this meaningless fucking information in my head? Flyers won it 74, 75. Is that 6 right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Let me look this up. Toronto. Why don't I stop and just look this up? God knows I'm not being fucking funny this week. Toronto Maple Leafs. That's actually a city I want to do a fucking stand-up gig in. But they never seem to fucking pony up any goddamn money. All right. The 1966 Stanley Cup Final was a best-of-7 series between the Montreal Canadiens and Toronto Maple Leafs. Montreal Maple Leafs would win the Stanley Cup, and they'd never fucking win another one. So there you go. So now it's a 3-way fucking tie for the longest futility in hockey. Toronto Maple Leafs, the Los Angeles Kings, and whoever the fuck else I said because I can't remember. And the St. Louis Blues. And I'm praying all you guys don't win because the next person on that fucking list is then, I believe, going to be the Bruins in 1970. Unless Vancouver came in like 70. Is that what happened? Calgary Flames, Capitals, they all came in the early 70s. Right? Isn't this interesting? I don't think it is. Jesus Christ. Let's go back. Let's go to some questions. Maybe this will help me. Questions for the week. You know what? I'm literally looking at the clock this week the way I do when I have a bad set, and I'm looking down at my watch. Like, how many more minutes do I have to do? How many more goddamn minutes? All right, question. Bill, if you had enough money to quit stand-up and had the balls to give up your dream of becoming Ernest Borgnine, where would you live and what would you do with your time? All right. I have enough money and I can quit stand-up and I don't want to become an actor. All right. Where would I live and what would I do with my time? I think I'd live back east, and I would live on a big piece of land where I could grow my own food. I'd get a pistol. I'd get all the sports fucking channels. I think I would live in, I don't know. I'd want to live right outside of New York City. One of those places. Tarrytown or in Jersey above the George Washington Bridge, all those fucking ritzy places. But out in the sticks a little bit. I'd live there. I'd enjoy the 4 seasons. I'd get a dog, a couple of horses. I'd never ride them either. That's one of my goals in life. I want to get a couple of horses, and I want them never to be ridden in their lives. You know? After I found out what you have to do to make a fucking horse want to be ridden, you got to break them. The same way they break those people who work at hardware stores and / terrorists down in Guantanamo Bay. You know, you got to do that to a fucking horse. And even then, the horse, you never quite, because I noticed the 1 or 2 times I've ridden a horse, they still kind of are rebellious. They do shit. Like a friend of mine actually used to work with horses and said when you go to put the saddle on them, you got to tug the belt underneath, you got to tug it real tight, because what they'll do is they'll take a big inhale. All right, and then when you and then you tie it on, and then when you go to get on top of it, they exhale, and the saddle slides down, and you fall off the fucking horse. I mean, right? If I ever had a horse and it ever did that shit, right there, I would look into its big, brown, beautiful horse eyes, and I would be like, "You don't want to be ridden, do you? You know, well that's it. It's fucking over. It's fucking over. I'm not riding you anymore. All right? Go ahead, go run around in this fenced-in area." And don't fucking complain, I'm fenced in too. There's areas I can't go to. I can't just cross borders. You ever think how fucked up that is with like countries and that type of shit? How just where you're born, you're just all of a sudden on that team? You know? Like why we're not allowed to just wander. You know, why can't I just walk to Brazil? Like the old days. And just fucking go in and wash some dishes at a saloon, make a little bit of money, and then jump on a fucking stagecoach and ride out of town or some bullshit, right? Just fucking head down to Brazil and chill out down there. You can't fucking do it anymore. You gotta have all these goddamn identifications, microchips and all this shit. I gotta worry about roving bands of fucking guerrilla terrorists. Arrested Abroad. You guys ever see that fucking show? Arrested Abroad makes you like you never want to travel again. I have to tell you, even this last time when I went out of the country and I went to England, Ireland, and Scotland. Not only ridiculously white, not only do they all speak English, but I'm actually have ancestry in all those parts of the country. I still couldn't quite relax until I got back on my own turf. You know? I saw a Sparrow. I saw somebody with dirty toes and flip-flops. I was like, America, I'm back. I'm fucking back. Can you do that? No, you can't. Even in like how does that work over in Europe when you know those dirty American college kids all of a sudden decide to get on a fucking like how they become dirty because I want to do it. That you get on a train, you just go around Europe. How does that work? Do you have to show your passport, your papers, please? Do you have to do that? Or are you guys so advanced in the New World Order that you're all in the same fucking currency and you just have one DMV making you a fucking driver's license with a barcode in the back? Have you seen that? You guys seen that new creepy commercial? Where I don't even know what the fuck's going on. They have a baby in the middle of it and they have all this electronic shit, like examining every inch of the baby. That IBM commercial, the way they're selling microchipping the entire world with become a smarter planet. Become a smarter planet, right? Who's going to argue with that? No one wants to become a dumber planet. Watch those commercials and read between the lines and see what the fuck they're setting you up for. They're already getting you comfortable with all this robotic laser shit looking at your naked little baby. They're going to fucking, just like a goddamn dog, they're going to stick a microchip right in the back, a fucking barcode, right on that soft part of his fucking eye. That's where they're going to, his third eye, soft part of his skull. That's where they're going to bury the microchip, right? I give it one more generation, and the only job that there's going to be as a fucking human being, other than wiping the ass of the Illuminati, is to be the guy who oils the fucking robots. Other than that, the rest of us, we're going down. We're all getting processed. That's my message on this happy, fucking horrific car crash of a fucking podcast. Next question. So that's what I do. I would live back east, and I would like to live on a big piece of property, and I'd like to learn how to grow my own food. Even if I wasn't into that conspiracy theory type of shit, I just there's just something about it. I think you should know how to live off the land. I think you should know how to survive in the wild. I just think that stuff. I think you should know how to defend yourself. All of this stuff I don't know how to do. You know, I know how to defend myself. As you put me in a headlock, I put you in a headlock. And then we both sit there tugging on each other going, quit it, you quit first. Like, that's all I know how to do. You know, sit on your chest and fucking punch you. I know how to do that. If you're my little brother, I know how to beat you up. I don't know how to survive in the wild. I was actually on the internet the other day, and I was trying to learn how to hotwire a car and pick a lock. Just in case this shit happens. And I'm that guy running around with cargo pants and a backpack. Like that fucking show they have. You seen that show? After the Apocalypse? The guy goes through the garbage and he somehow finds, stuff to eat and how to start a fire. I don't know how to do any of that shit. I want to learn how to do that shit so I don't take the coward way out and just kill myself. A lot of people have that as a plan. That's their backup plan. Oh, if shit goes down, I'll just kill myself. Next problem. All right, next question. Here we go. Dear Bill, I'm 19 and I do stand-up in New York City. Well, at least I did until I ran out of money paying for all the open mics and transportation. I'm trying. Sorry, I'm yawning here. I'm trying to get a job to pay for what I love doing. Sounds like a plan, right? Absolutely sounds like a plan. But, of course, the shit will eventually hit the fan. In about a month and a half, my mom is going to move back to New England, and I'm definitely not going back because, one, that shit sucks. And two, New York is the best place to do stand-up. Every day, my mom and my older brother give me shit for every little thing. Every day, my, what? Sorry, I just jumped the line. I'm trying to get a job, but I look like a hippie, so that shit ain't easy. No, every day my mom and older brother give me shit for every little thing I do. I'm trying to get a job, but I look like a hippie, so that shit ain't easy. Now for the part that leaves me looking like a pussy. I feel like no matter what I do, I'm wasting time. I should do stand-up every night, and my carefree attitudes does nothing but piss off these stressed-out bastards in my house. If you were in this situation, what would you do? Well, you didn't give me enough of your situation to fully tell you. I don't know how old you are. Oh, 19. You're 19. What would I do? I would get a fucking job. That's what I would do. I would get a job that would allow me to stay in the tri-state area, and I would continue to do stand-up down there. That's what I would do if you don't want to move to Boston. But, if you wanted to move to Boston, I mean, that's where I started. I can't really comment on the scene. The scene was great when I was up there, and I had a day job, and I did spots at night, came to work sleepy or whatever, and I got myself to the point I just saved up a ton of money. I can give you this advice. Whatever you do, don't get a fucking credit card and get yourself into some ridiculous debt, because that's the modern day slavery, is the loaning of money at interest. And you need to avoid that at all fucking costs. So what I would do, get a reliable car. All this shit requires money, but I would not go out and buy a brand new fucking car, get a job, and get all this fucking debt to quote-unquote build up your credit, I wouldn't do any of that shit. All right? I would keep myself, I wouldn't be in a relationship. You know, I would keep it, I'd keep it real light. Travel light is what I would say. Travel light. Dude, you're 19 years old. You ought to be able to sleep on the sidewalk. All right? Your body is still brand new. It's brand fucking new. You don't have any aches or pains. If you want to stay there, you just stay there. Find a fucking job. Whatever you got to do, just get a goddamn job out there, and then I would continue on. And then just think positive. Think positive. And as bad, no matter how bad it fucking gets, just think this is just a funny chapter in a book that I'll write someday, or a funny story to tell if I'm sitting on the couch on Conan one day. Just look at it that way. Don't listen to the negative fucks around you, and just keep going. That's what I would do. If you want to stay in the New York area and do stand-up, then that's exactly what the fuck I would do. Do that. That is my advice to you. Good luck to you, sir, and I hope it all works out for you. And if by the time you make it, I've already made it and then have a fucking brutal drug habit, help me out. Toss me an opening gig. I'll open for you. All right, this is one of the last things. This is going to be a short podcast this week. I apologize. I just don't fucking have it this week. I really don't. I got a million things on my fucking mind. I got a bunch of bills I have to pay. I got all this shit. I'm running around. Hey, you know what's fucked up? I thought I was going to be doing Letterman again next week. I got bumped again. So at least that stress is taken off. It's kind of cool, though, because the set has been ready since May. So rather than the panic that I usually have, usually when they ask me to do Letterman, they call me up. They go, what do you got? You got 5 minutes ready? And as always, I lie, and I go, yeah, I got 5 minutes clean material. And then I frantically try to put it together. And, I stress for like fucking 14 days before I finally start to get it. I feel like I have it. And then it always ends up going well, but there's an unbelievable amount of stress. But the thing is I already went through that bullshit in April, getting ready for the beginning of May. And then, then it went away, and then it started to build up again, and all of a sudden, June, I'm ready to go, and then today, boom, you're out. You're fucking out, so I'm ready to go. I don't know what the point of that fucking story was. You know what? Am I allowed to take a week off, people? Am I? How about this? We just got the final copy of my new special is ready. We just locked the master, or whatever they say technically. It's ready to go. I got extras, and one of the extras actually is the Monday Morning Podcast, which would have been a great thing to bring up if this was actually a decent podcast. But one of the extras is I filmed one of my podcasts. Another extras is some people heckling me in a club, a couple episodes of that. And whatever. The rest of it, you'll find out when you buy the thing. And considering this thing is free, I'm letting you guys know right now, when I get an actual release date for this, for the podcast, I'm going to be coming at you guys hard and heavy with the guilt. Okay? And if you think you're only going to be required to buy one DVD, I got news for you. I'm going more than that. All right? I'm not going to say how many I think you should buy. But it's more than one, and it's less than 3. But I'm not going to say what that number is. All right, let's read the last thing here. Overrated for this week. Overrated, Sprint customer service. I swear to God, these people are just there to piss you off, Bill. It's like no matter what you say, they have some textbook comeback to make you seem like an asshole. How funny is that? What do they explain the phone and you don't get it, so now you're blaming them? Actually, you know what you're saying. I have been with Sprint for years now, and I'm always bitching to them about their shitty phones. But can you blame me? Either the screen breaks or the fucking thing doesn't charge. Like 2 days ago, I went in yet again to get my phone looked at because when I plugged in the charger, the phone wouldn't charge. So I bring the phone up and the charger. I bring the phone and the charger up into the store, and the douchebag behind the counter says the charger port in the phone is bad. We will order you a new phone. Come back in 2 days. And it'll be here. It'll be here for you. Keep in mind, they looked at both the phone and the charger. So I say that's fine with me. Ordering a phone takes some time. 2 days, no big deal. 2 days later, I pick up the phone and bring it home to find out the fucking thing doesn't charge. So I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck? Did they order me a new... What the fuck did they order me a new phone for? So I go back to the Sprint store and I very calmly explain that the charger was the problem the whole time. Like I had said since the beginning. So they go back and fuck around with the thing some more. And this cunt comes back to me and tells me that I was right. And here's where I get pissed. She tells me that I need to buy the new charger myself because apparently full insurance doesn't cover accessories. I swear to God, I would never hit a woman, but this bitch got me so angry. I explained that they were the ones who diagnosed the fucking problem, not me. They're the ones who ordered a new phone when I didn't even need one. Plus, I had to wait 2 days to find all that shit out, and they still charged me $40 for the fucking thing. No discount or anything. Sorry, just had to vent. Yeah, that's one of those deals where you have to stop talking to the person at the counter. The first thing you have to do is you got to keep your temper in check. I did a whole segment on this about a year ago about the magic of the word unacceptable, and whatever wisdom I learned was fleeting because I've gone right back to flipping out and screaming at people. And I can tell you from personal experience that does not get you to the desired results. So what you should have done was say that I need to talk to somebody above you. I understand you don't make these rules. You just keep complimenting the person, and you just keep saying it's unacceptable. And eventually that you're going to get to the highest person in the store, and what they're going to do is tell you that you then have to jump through a couple fucking hoops. Email people, something involving the internet, and they're all just hoping you're going to tap out. But if you never fucking tap out, you're going to get what you have coming to you. That's just what they do. That's just how it works now. And, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know what to say. God knows it won't be anything funny. This fucking piece of shit of a fucking podcast. If this fucking podcast was a car. Here's some questions for you this week. If this podcast was a car, what would it be? If it was a comedian, who would it be? If it was a president, who would it be? Go to the MM Podcast, people. The MMPodcast.com. Go to that page. We'll have the questions up there, and you can fucking send in your answers, and I'll read them next week. If you want to trash me, go right ahead. I fucking deserve it. You know what? This is the first time a podcast has really seemed like work. Usually I'm in here, I'm having a good time. Maybe I'm fucking jet lagged. What if I just ran out of funny? You know, they always say that you got to worry about that shit as a comedian. You just dry up. Maybe I'm drying up. I turned 42 years old, and that's it. That was the magic number. First 18 years of his career, man, I tell you, the guy fucking just steadily improved. He just kept getting better and better and better. And then he hit 42, and I don't know what happened. He started regressing. First thing he did, he started doing the podcast in the afternoon when it was hot. He started sweating, cooking his fucking brain. You know, just fucking all went downhill from there. See right there, I thought I was going to go on some sort of a riff, and it just fucking ended. I got nothing. Why would I think after 55 minutes of mental torture that all of a sudden I was just going to pull this fucking gem out of my ass? Is that what I thought was going to happen? It didn't. I got fucking news for you. It didn't. My brain would just start thinking of the oil spill. Like I was going to riff on that. I got nothing to say about it because I haven't fucking watched a second of it because there's nothing I can do about it. All right? Put a picture up when you clog the fucking hole. By the way, are they ever going to be able to clean that up? Are we so in trouble that... do you realize that they actually listened to Kevin Costner? Kevin Costner actually got a meeting with the government. That's how dumb I am. I don't even know what branch of the government. He went to Washington and he met with the government. You know, whatever the fuck he did. He went to one of those buildings that's painted white and has pillars out in the front. And he went in there and there was fucking 5 old people sitting there in suits. And he did the usual, I didn't come here as an actor. I came here as a blah, blah, blah. He's got some side company that I guess vacuums oil off the top of the water. How did he even get that meeting? What did that? Well, he was in Waterworld. I mean, there's water right there. Shit. What the fuck? I mean, he did fucking play John F. Kennedy. Actually, no, sir, he didn't. He played the guy investigating it. Well, he was in contact with the president. There you go, right there. He fought in the Civil War. He fucking played baseball. He built a goddamn stadium. What more does this guy have to fucking do to get a goddamn meeting with us? He finger-bagged Meg Ryan in the back of that limo. What else did he do? I can't remember. And he was I know I'm fucking all these up. He was fucking with the guy from the Breakfast Club when they went skydiving, Fandango. Hey, do you remember that one kid who had that part in the movie in Fandango who just slept in the back of the car the entire fucking movie? I had my part in Date Night was one level above that. That actor in Fandango called me. And the guy from Weekend at Bernie's called me to see, how did you get 8 lines? Dude, you're blowing up. You're fucking blowing up. So anyways, fucking Kevin Costner, who, like Jack Nicholson, is going to take forever to go bald. You know, I don't know what those guys dump on their fucking heads. But they really stave it off. They really stave it off. I, on the other hand, I'm not using any of that shit. I'm just letting it fucking happen. And then what I'm going to do is in 10 years, I figure the fact that they can grow a fucking colon outside of the human body, if they can fucking do that in 10 and then take out the old one and stick the new one in like you just got a new exhaust system, there's no fucking way they're not going to have a cure for this shit in 10 fucking years. I'll just fucking pop a pill and the shit will just start growing back like magic. Like fucking magic. I learned that. I learned that the other day when I was watching one of those shows for, you know, it's not a toupee, it's your actual fucking hair, right? And they got that 50-year-old guy running his hands through his Jay Leno head of hair now, and he's going, you know, I wish I did this 10 years ago. And it's like, dude, no, you don't. No, you don't. If you go back and look at what hair plugs looked like 10 years ago, sir, you're going to say, I'm really glad I waited. It's like people are going to get their tattoos removed. And then they just have that permanent Indian sunburn because they fuck it up because it's new. Just wait a few years. Wait a few years. It's all going to be great. If that's my advice for you. If you can wait. I had a buddy of mine who did crystal meth and a bunch of fucked up drugs, and he dried out his joints and had to get like hip replacement surgery at like 36. And he's needed it for like 6 years. And the doctor says, just wait, just wait, just wait. Because when I was younger, if you got hip replacement surgery, you were fucked. Unless you got it at like 60 or 70, because it only lasted for like 10 years. And people used to die in their 60s. John Wayne, all of them. Fucking rump roast hanging out of the fucking your anus. He just collapsed one day. It was just rump roast and Geritol pills, undigested Geritol pills. That's all you just died of that. And everybody dropped in their fucking 60s. But whatever. What I'm trying to say is your hip only lasted for 10 years and then you were in a wheelchair. Like, what's his face? Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell now is in a wheelchair. But my buddy has needed it for like 5, 6, 7 years. And 5, 6, 7 years ago, the doctor said, I'm stuttering again, said that he needed this hip replacement surgery. And he just told him if he can wait, if he could deal with the pain, that the advancements that they were having, he would be so much better. And he waited, and I hadn't seen the guy in a minute. One of those friends, we showed up, he went to a fucking hockey game or something, and he had handicapped plates, and I couldn't understand why. And he was walking normally. He said, I had hip replacement surgery. And I was like, when? He said, like 6 months ago. And he's fucking walking around all normal. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He goes, yeah. And he explained the whole thing, how now they used to like just cut your whole leg open, almost from like hip down to your knee, and just remove your entire hip and like, I don't know, like half your fucking femur. Now I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do, but it's working, people. Is this interesting? Me explaining fucking hip surgery? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Maybe that will work with the oil spill. You know what the big deal is I like how Kevin Costner has a side business. That's so fucking smart. Because if you listen to this fucking podcast, shouldn't I really have a side business? Shouldn't I have something to fall back on? Ah, fuck, that's it. All right, go fuck yourselves. I'm sorry. Go have a good week. Don't judge me. I'll be back next week. Okay? Eminem had a couple of bad albums. I heard his new one's fucking unbelievable. All right, see you.